Hey, we are joined now by our international correspondent, Alex Newman. Alex, thank you so much for taking your time today. Looking forward to this report.
It's great to be with you. Thank you so much for having me, Duke.
Well, we have a 1-2 punch here. I think if moms and dads are almost becoming desensitized by the creepy and sexualized things that are going on in the public schools. But we had one hit the news internationally a couple of days ago that is almost impossible not to be creeped out by. We have Bernie Finn, who's a member of parliament in Australia. He is talking about a piece of homework that one of his constituents sent to him that was meant for all the 10-year-old girls in the school, just the girls. And with no further ado, listen to what this particularly outrageous, sexualized piece of homework was all about.
It is a note from a constituent who says, "Hi Bernie, this is a worksheet that my 10-year-old daughter brought home from school," and it includes a photo of the worksheet. Part of her homework was to discuss with her father his erections and ejaculation. I find this very disturbing and sickening, as indeed do I have to say. I have complained to the school and was told it was just part of the curriculum. Can you advise who else I should make a complaint to? Well, I could go on for days who she could complain to. My daughter still plays with dolls and writes letters to the tooth fairy. There is no way any little girl should be told to ask these questions. Well, so say all of us. What the hell is going on in this state when 10-year-old girls are told to go home and talk to your father about his erections and about his ejaculations? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, Duke, nothing surprises me anymore when it comes to the indoctrination system masquerading as an education system. This is par for the course. And, you and I have been warning for so many years that this kind of stuff was coming, and it's going to get worse. They're now normalizing and promoting pedophilia and all sorts of insane things. This, to me, sounds like a promotion of incest. But there is no limit for these people. Unless and until parents and taxpayers say enough, these people will not stop. They'll get more and more extreme, more and more perverted, more and more disgusting.
Well, I know you've done a lot of traveling and talking about this stuff, as have I. One of the things that I'm noticing that I've not heard anybody really quite comment on yet, and I'd like your take on it, the more I begin to watch the news, the more I see these patterns repeating. It's apparent to me that what's happening to preschool is becoming a completely separate way of teaching children about transgenderism. It seems to me that the new conception of preschool, 3 and 4-year-olds, those kids right go before they go to kindergarten, that the purpose of, the main point of preschool now is transgender and gender indoctrination. It's amazing when you think about it. We have a lot of studies that show that preschool doesn't do anything academic for kids. It doesn't help them. It has no impact on how they become students later on down the road. Although what we do know now is that from a number of modern studies is that there are a lot of emotional and depressive consequences to kids who are pulled that early away from their parents when they get to be a little bit older. So without having any real core knowledge there base for transgender kids, or for preschool kids, it seems now that that's going to be where our kids get their first taste of gender.
Yeah, and they're doing this deliberately, Duke. They realized, in fact, that the head of the UN LGBT program, the LGBT czar, they called him, specifically stated in an interview with an Argentinian newspaper, the younger we can get these kids, the better, before their attitudes are shaped by their silly parents and the church and things like that. And I want to be clear, Duke, this is exactly the same strategy that pedophiles use to groom children. Children have a natural modesty, a natural barrier against this sort of behavior, against this sort of language, against this sort of sexualization. And what pedophiles do, and this has been very well documented in the law enforcement literature and the studies, is they try to break down that natural inhibition. So they bombard children with pornographic images, pornographic ideas, sexual thoughts. They try to normalize the use of slang terminology with private parts and just get children to get over their natural inhibitions. Right? This is exactly what perverts do, so that they can groom and then ultimately exploit and sexually abuse children. As far as I'm concerned, this is a criminal act by the Australian education authorities, and people need to be held responsible.
And I like what you said, because not only on the one hand, the United Nations is pushing to sexualize children at the preschool level, which is pedophilia. We've now got pedophiles being apologized for by the theorists of sexuality in the colleges, right? We've all heard the stories about how we shouldn't call them pedophiles. They're minor attracted people and they're misunderstood. So on both sides of the grooming, the children side and the groomer side, now the progressive left is defending these people and defending their tactics as if they were the most normal thing in the world.
It is. It's absolutely disgusting, Duke, and we have got to bring this under control. It's going to destroy a whole generation of young people.